Hey everyone, so today I'm gonna show you a cool little trick that you can do right in your own kitchen. We're gonna mimic 45-day dry aged beef in only 48 hours. So we're gonna be using this beautiful ingredient here. This is called Koji. Kind of looks and smells like rice. So it's basically a mold. It's used a lot in the Asian cuisine. It's used to ferment bean paste for making miso, and also for fermenting rice and potatoes for making alcoholic beverages like sake and others. But the coolest thing about this ingredient, it just sucks up all the moisture from the meat and also adds a little bit of umami flavor. So it gets you really close to dry aging. If you've never tried a dry aged steak, do yourself a favor now and go find a restaurant, find a butcher shop that sells it and go try it. Trust me, this is gonna change your life. I want to show you how to do this. Super easy, super simple. So we're basically gonna rub the koji all over it, top and bottom. And we're gonna let that sit for 48 hours in the fridge. This is the second time I tried this recipe, and I wasn't really expecting much out of it, but honestly, the flavor was super close to dry aging, which was very surprising. It actually dries it up a little bit and really concentrates all these flavors. Alright, that's it. We're just gonna let that go to sleep now, and we'll see it in 48 hours. Alright, so the steak is 48 hours in right now. Soaked up a lot of moisture. It's very stiff. So what we're gonna do right now is that we're gonna take that to the sink, we're gonna rinse it, and then we're gonna dry it out a little bit. Let it dry really nicely. Since we rinsed it, we added a lot of moisture back in. Here, it's important for me to get a dry surface so that we can create a really nice crust. The ribeye cap here is kind of starting to separate. We'll be very careful with it when we're cooking it. I can smell that fermented rice. I can almost taste how that's gonna taste like in the steak. So now, I'm gonna transfer that steak to a wire rack and then put that in the fridge for at least 4 hours. Overnight's even better. So I actually decided to let it sit overnight. This thing is so dry right now. The surface, the crust, you can see like how firm it is. Only 48 hours in the koji. This looks pretty much exactly like a dry aged steak. So I'm just gonna go very simple on the seasoning here. I'm just rubbing it with a little bit of oil, and I'm only using salt to season that. Normally, I would use salt, pepper, and I would use fresh garlic and fresh herbs, but I kind of want to let that flavor shine through. So I'm gonna be trying my new induction burner today. I just bought this thing on Amazon and it looks super cool. I'm so excited to use it. So cast iron skillet, I'm gonna go with butter on low heat and put the steak right in. The reason why I'm cooking this on low heat is because the outside crust right now is so dry. So it will start searing and charring very quickly. I want to take that char slowly through the process. I'm gonna keep flipping here as many times as possible. Probably every 30 seconds to 1 minute, I'm gonna flip the steak. Especially if you're cooking in a pan, flipping the steak more often will promote even cooking. Flip one more time. Wow, look at that color. I wish you can smell this. This looks and smells like a dry aged steak. And you see with that low heat, it's still starting to develop this beautiful brown golden color on it. It looks perfect. I'm trying to explain the smell here. It just smells like you're walking into a bakery that uses a ton of butter in their products. It's so good. And I'm getting a little bit of that funky, blue cheesy beefiness in the smell as well. It's just wonderful. I'm sorry you can't smell it. Gonna flip one more time. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that color. That is just gorgeous. This feels like it's getting really close now. I'm gonna take it out in probably 30 seconds. This little guy is done. It's time to rest. Rest the steak on a wire rack. Let it go to sleep for a couple minutes.
When the best of those is quickly gone and sour. Oh, and all they do now.
Cheers. It's really rich, buttery, still super juicy. Has this almost cured texture and flavor to it.
In a game of love, you gotta cheat to win.
Cheers, y'all. Eat more steak.